Carriage Kia in Gainesville and Woodstock has up to $6,000 in rebates right now during the summer sticker event. New 2019 Optima, Sorrento, Sportage, Stinger, and Forte. 66 months, 0% for qualified buyers only at Carriage Kia, Gainesville, and Woodstock.
It's the first of its kind in Georgia, and it's coming to Gwinnett County.
Find out how you can work for the world's biggest retailer.
We'll have this story and much more on the Gwinnett Daily Post podcast Week in Review.
It pays to know your doctor, it pays to know your lawyer, and more than ever, to know your local real estate professional. Hi, I'm Glenn Drake with Drake Realty. With 7 offices in Metro Atlanta, I'm the proud leader of over 700 agents here in Georgia. Drake Realty makes the home buying process seamless from contract to close. Our agents are a little different. They're not pushing for the quick sale and close. They're pushing for the best price and terms for their clients. In other words, Drake Realty fights for you. And right now, with the lowest interest rates that we've seen in 30 years, now's the time to buy that dream home, vacation home, upgrade, downsize, or a new home your family deserves. A lot of real estate agents talk big. Let my team at Drake Realty prove they will fight for you. I'm Glenn Drake, and I'd be honored to have my team serve you. Visit us online at drakerealty.com, and remember, it's not how quick you sell or buy, it's how the deal sets up your future.
Hello and welcome to the Gwinnett Daily Post podcast Week in Review for September 4th, 2020. I'm Darren Sutherland.
And I'm Amanda Lee.
This is your weekly look back at the stories that really matter to you and your neighbors in Gwinnett County. It's hyperlocal information you can only get from a truly local news source, the Gwinnett Daily Post. Be sure to subscribe and share this news podcast with your friends, neighbors, and social media.
We would also love to hear from you. Just give us a call at 404-997-8655 and share your comments or story ideas with us. We might even play your comment in a future podcast. Now here's a look back at the week starting August 30th.
On Tuesday, Governor Brian Kemp joined officials from Amazon to announce the company's first robotics fulfillment center in South Gwinnett County. A first of its kind in Georgia, the new 640,000 square foot multi-level fulfillment center near Stone Mountain is expected to be open before the holiday season. The center was approved by Gwinnett commissioners in 2018 when it was referred to under the mysterious name Project Rocket, but it wasn't officially announced as being an Amazon fulfillment center until last year.
Amazon officials recently began accepting applications for jobs in the center and held an online job information session for anyone interested in working at the facility. The center is expected to create more than 100,000 new jobs in the area. Lawrenceville is selling its water distribution system to Gwinnett County. The Lawrenceville City Council and Gwinnett County Water and Sewer Authority Board approved the sale in separate meetings on Monday, and the Gwinnett Board of County Commissioners gave final approval on Tuesday. The city announced plans to sell the water distribution system to the county last week, citing aging infrastructure that would have cost a significant water rate increase by the city to pay for upgrades.
The transfer is expected to be completed by December 1st. Commercial water customers can expect to see their monthly bills decrease, but residential customers can expect to see a slight increase on their monthly bills. The city will provide each residential water customer a one-time bill credit of about $60 to cover the first 12 months of the anticipated increase.
A 63-year-old Lawrenceville man was killed Tuesday night as he tried to cross Grayson Highway. Douglas Johnson tried to cross the street outside of the crosswalk just before 10 p.m. when he was hit by a vehicle driven by Sharice Daniels of Lawrenceville. Police say Johnson had been under the influence of alcohol when he tried to cross the road. Daniels stayed at the scene of the accident and has not been charged with a crime.
Coming up, will COVID-19 stop high school football this weekend? We'll let you know right after this.
Engineered Solutions of Georgia.
Hey Atlanta, this is Jay and Lewis, owners of Engineered Solutions of Georgia. Lewis, what should a homeowner do if they have a crack in their block wall, corner of their door, window, or concrete foundation?
Well, Jay, if it's a diagonal crack, this lets us know that they should be concerned and there could be a serious problem. then they should call our office at 678-ESOG now and set up an appointment to have one of our qualified professional technicians come out to their property to take a look at the problem.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell. I've done the research already, so you don't have to. You can trust Engineered Solutions of Georgia.
Give Engineered Solutions of Georgia a call at 678-ESOG now.
Engineered Solutions of Georgia. We guarantee a stable, dry foundation. Dial 678-ESOG now.
COVID-19 has forced local powerhouse Mill Creek's football team to cancel its first two games, including Friday's planned Corky Kell Classic game against Parkview. The number of players who have to quarantine forced the decision, which also cancels the Hawks' September 11th game at Norcross. The Corky Kell Classic was supposed to be the first game played on Mill Creek's new artificial turf stadium field, and that's not the only Gwinnett High School team sidelined due to the pandemic.
60 members of Berkmar High School's football team and 10 coaches are under quarantine as a precaution after a member of the team tested positive for COVID-19. The district said one member of the team had tested positive as of Wednesday morning. Because of that case and the quarantine of the coaches and other team members, the first two games of Berkmar's season have been canceled.
Berkmar had been scheduled to open its season against Best Academy on September 4th and against Duluth High School on September 11th. The school system is working on plans to reschedule the Berkmar-Duluth matchup since it is a region game. And in happier school news, Kara Slayton from Central Gwinnett High School has been named Georgia's 2020 History Teacher of the Year according to the State Department of Education. The award is presented annually by the Gilder Luhrmann Institute of American History.
Slayton was chosen because she creates an atmosphere where history directly connects to students' lives, helping them become engaged and informed citizens. Slayton holds a bachelor's degree from Tennessee Temple University, a master's degree from Nova Southeastern University, and a certification in educational leadership from the University of West Georgia. If you're like me, you'll be firing up the grill this Labor Day weekend, but be sure you don't make yourself or your guests sick in the process. Gary Crawford of the USDA is here with his part 2 of his Goofs of the Grill series.
And now, more outdoor grilling goofs. Yes, more ways to turn your cookout into a sick-out.
There's mistakes that people make all the time, and that one time that you do could be the time that you get sick.
Or make somebody else sick. That's Crystal Okanta with the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Meat and Poultry Hotline, the number of which we'll give you in a minute. Last time, we talked about two major grilling mistakes. One, not using a food thermometer, so not getting the meat to a hot enough internal temperature to kill any bacteria that might be in or on that meat. And number two, cross-contamination, which often consists of carrying the raw meat out to the grill on a platter, then putting the cooked meat right back on the same platter using the same utensils, thus letting any bacteria that might have been on that platter or the utensils, letting that bacteria hop right back on the cooked meat. But those only skim the surface of possible cookout catastrophes. Crystal has a few more to mention. One does not involve keeping just the food and the plates and the utensils clean.
Those personal hygiene parts are just as important as the food hygiene.
And in this case, she's talking about a huge mistake many of us make, and that's not washing our hands at every step of the food preparation system, starting well before the actual grilling begins.
Anytime you touch raw meat or poultry, the immediate next step should be washing your hands. And that's the one that we're most concerned about because our research has shown that a lot of people miss that step. They think, oh, I just handled the packaging or the juices, not the actual meat or poultry itself. But that can still have bacteria that can contaminate your hands and move that over to, let's say, a salad or cut fruit or vegetables, and those aren't going to be cooked. So you definitely want to make sure to wash your hands really well after the meat and poultry.
Or as the song says,
I like clean hands and I cannot lie. Wash them, rub them, and please make sure you scrub them. You know you're working where germs are lurking.
Okay, our final grilling disaster comes after we've cooked the food. The problem is we leave it out at room temperature or hotter for too long. And Crystal says there's bacteria out in the air that can get on that food and start multiplying. So how long can it stay out? Crystal says 2 hours if it's below 90 degrees.
But if it's hotter than that, above 90 degrees, the time cuts down to only 1 hour. So you really want to set the clock and make sure that you're not leaving your food out too long.
Or there's another way.
Keep that hot food hot. Keep it on indirect heat on the grill so that it stays warm so that it can continue to keep your food safe. Or you need to make sure it gets back into a cooler or refrigerator so that it stops any potential bacteria from growing.
So it's time for us to be going. If you have any type of food safety or handling question, call the Meat and Poultry Hotline, 1-888-MP Hotline, 1-888-MP Hotline, or go online to ask.usda.gov. That's ask.usda.gov.
And our experts are available from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday.
This is Gary Crawford reporting for the U.S. Department of Agriculture.
Thank you for joining us for the Gwinnett Daily Post Week in Review, your truly local news source from Gwinnett County, the Gwinnett Daily Post.
Grab a copy of today's paper and visit the GwinnettDailyPost.com for complete details on the stories we've discussed, plus more stories that affect you and the residents of Gwinnett County.
Subscribe to this podcast and share this podcast to get all the latest hyper-local updates instantly on your cell phone. Share your thoughts or questions with us via the comment line at 404-997-8655. We might share your comment on an upcoming episode.
The Gwinnett Daily Post Podcast Week in Review is produced by BG Ad Group, Amanda Lee producer, Jacob Sutherland director. Copyright 2020, all rights reserved.
Brought to you by Toccoa Falls College in Toccoa Falls, Georgia. More information on TFC, call 706-886-7299 or visit them online at tfc.edu. That's tfc.edu. Since 1907, TFC, glorifying God through seeking and developing leaders who will impact the world for Jesus Christ.